Hi, in this video we're going to go through all the steps of calculating taxes for one family. And we're going to use the 2018 tax tables. But if you're seeing this in a later year, that means the procedure is still the same. It's just that your tables might be different for the actual numbers, but the process would be the same. This one is new for 2018 though, because some of the items have changed. So here's our family. We have Jamie and Jordan with one child, and they are married and filing jointly. We already have their AGI, so remember from the last video, that's when any pre-tax things like benefits, retirement has already been taken out. Then we need to take the higher of these two. So they were able to itemize $15,200 through maybe mortgage interest, donations, other things like that. We want to choose the higher. Let's say choose. Can you see that? Not really. Choose the higher. Okay, so to find the standard deduction, we need to go to our table, which you will have soon if you don't already. Standard deduction. So we have married filing jointly and surviving spouses. So married filing jointly is $24,000. That's new for 2018. What happened was they took away the personal exemptions, but they made the standard deductions larger. Okay, so we want to use the larger of these two, which would be the 24,000. So I'm just going to circle this one and cross that one out. Choose the higher one. Now to get their taxable income, we need to subtract that from the 66,000. So I'm going to show my steps. Of course, you can use a calculator for this, but our numbers are pretty nice here, so I can do it by hand. That's going to be 2, and that's going to be 4. So $42,000 is their taxable income. So that's actually what they're going to pay taxes on. Okay, so now I get to show you the tax from table. This is the new part that wasn't really in the other video. So we looked at this first table for the standard deduction. Then there's a table for each filing status. So this is single. This is head of households. So we don't want either of those. The next page has married individuals filing jointly, or surviving spouses, or married filing separately. Okay, so our couple is married filing jointly. And we need to figure out where their taxable income. So the table always goes off the taxable income, not the AGI, but stuff that's already been subtracted. There's a row for each sort of bracket of income, and then you can see the percentages: 10%, 12%, 22%, 24%, and so on. So let's calculate one of these so you can see what it looks like. So their taxable income is $42,000. So that would fall in the first row here. It's over $19,050, but not over $77,400. So they're in this row. And so this is the calculation we're going to use. And the table tells us what to do. It says $1,905 plus 12% of the excess over $19,050. So on this table, do you see how this number is the same as that one? You'll notice that on every row. This $77,400 is the same as that one. So depending on what your tax bracket is, like it's not like this bracket has to pay 24% of everything, and this bracket pays 32% of everything, whereas this bracket pays 10% of everything. It's not quite like that. It's a little bit more fair in that everyone pays 10% up to this amount. which is $1,905. See how they moved the decimal over one place? So instead of calculating 10% of that plus 12% of that, they've given us that number. And then we're going to add 12% of the next chunk. And then let's say someone's in the higher bracket, the 22% bracket, they would pay 10% on the first $19,050, 12% of this next amount, and 22% of the excess over that. So they've calculated these initial amounts based on that. So it's like everyone's paying the same on each bracket of money, on each chunk of money. Okay, so they're paying 10% of that first $19,050 and 12% of the excess over that. So let's do that calculation. So tax from table is going to be $1,905 plus, for 12%, I'm going to do 0.12. The excess over means subtract. It means the difference over and above. So I'm going to take this 42,000 and subtract the 19,050. You see how that works? So it's 1,000. I can't quite get them both on here at the same time. It's $1,905 plus 12% of the excess over, which means subtract that off and then take 12% of it. You could do this in multiple steps instead of writing it out all at once like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and simplify it in steps. You could also just plug this whole thing right into your calculator. That's fine. Okay, so 42,000 minus 19,050 is 22,950. And then I think I'll just punch it all in right there. You could do the 12% of that, but you might have to round it. So I'd rather keep it exact. $1,905 plus 12% of $22,950. And that comes out to $4,659. Okay, you can put the dollar signs along all the way through, but at least have it at the end. You want to have units on everything. Okay, so this is the amount of tax that Jamie and Jordan owe in the tax year 2018. However, they also have tax credits. So let me move this up a little bit. They have $2,000 in tax credits, and that is due to having a child. That's the child tax credit. So we get to take that tax credits, directly reduce your taxes dollar for dollar. So we get to subtract that from the taxes they owe. So 4,659 minus 2,000. Again, I like these numbers. Now they only owe in taxes $2,659. Okay. Now we have to look at how much they've paid so far. So federal taxes withheld from paychecks are $3,120. So that means month by month or week by week they've already paid this much in taxes. So are they going to get a refund, or do they have to pay more money? What do you think? If you said refund, you're right, because they paid more than they actually owe. Okay, so they're going to get a refund, and let's find the difference. 3,120 minus 2,659. $461. Okay, so Jamie and Jordan get a refund. And that's just federal. There's state also, but it works a similar way. So we're just going to be looking at federal taxes. Okay, so just to give an review of the whole process real quickly. We have to look at the filing status and calculate their AGI, or it might be given to us with the pre-tax stuff already taken out. Then we choose the higher of the itemized deductions and the standard deduction. So whichever one's higher, we're going to use that and subtract it from the AGI. So that takes down the income for the taxable income. Then we take the taxable income, we read off the table, we find the correct line, and we do that calculation. It's usually the excess over some number, and a percentage of that plus a fixed amount. Then if there are any tax credits, we subtract that from the tax they owe, or the tax from table, to get the total amount of taxes due. Then we compare with the withholdings to see which one's higher. In this case, more was withheld than they actually owed, so they got a refund. If it was the other way around, then we'd still subtract, and then that would be the amount that they still have to pay. Okay, so I hope that gives you a good example for taxes, and we will practice a bunch of these. Okay, see you in the next video.